There we go. We're on YouTube now.
Right.
Welcome to Shooting the Shit, episode, I think it's 102, 124, 124. Yes. So, I've got a couple of things. I don't know which ones you guys can see yet. Which ones would you want to start with? Do them?
We can start with one of the ones that you did.
Which one?
The one angry gamer thing with like media smear campaign was that one.
Right.
It was like your second one you posted.
The second, yeah. Right. Oh, if I do this. And there you go. See, I got stuff figured out. See that?
Yes.
Right. And that one is.
Yeah. I want to do this one.
Well, I find it better reading from the bottom screen, and I've got that one on the top screen. Yes. So, I don't know. Do this. You can read it since you're here.
This with the voice of the dog.
Yeah. Maybe he's not here. I haven't heard of him.
He's not doing anything. Maybe he's having trouble with his sound.
So I'll just go. So, Palmer Lucky. Is it Lucky? Is that who it's, I don't know. It looks like it.
I would call it Lucky, yeah.
Smear campaign was fake news according to up.
Right, shut up. I figured out why you weren't hearing me. Now you can hear me, can't you? Right, fuck you.
Yes.
I'm going to speak.
You
Okay.
Take forever. Right, very well. Palmer Lucky's smear campaign was fake news, according to Upload VR. Last updated on May the 1st, May Day. Palmer Lucky, founder of Oculus and former frontman for the VR company, which is owned by Facebook, recently left the company this year. This came after a tumultuous media blitz during the 2016 election season, where the media labelled him as racist, sexist, Trump supporter, and smeared him and his girlfriend in a seated attempt to cost him his job reputation in the public sphere. It worked. He's a fucking white male.
Yeah.
Basically. Blake Harris from Upload VR is working on a book about the resurfacing of VR in today's culture and burgeoning growth of VR during this generation of technology. Before it goes away again, I fucking hope. That's just my own editorial spin on fucking VR. But anyway, while doing research for his book about Oculus, he recounted the events that led to Palmer Lucky being ousted from Oculus. And he realised something everyone with confidence already knew. The fake news media machine, spearheaded by the mainstream media, cost Lucky his job through propaganda, malfeasance, and misinformation. 2 misses and a P.
It's what they're good at, man. It's fucking exactly what they're good at. It's the only thing they're good at.
Well,
they can't even
like any other propaganda, it only works as long as the people you're propagandizing believe it. Fortunately, at least there is, as is the alternative news. But really, the fact is, it's much easier to go to the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean the alternative media, as they call themselves, are just as bad. I've seen them doing the same shit.
Oh well, exactly. This is this is one of those things, right? Generally you kind of have to go to source in a lot of it, and the problem is it takes time. Time is something that
I ain't got time for that.
Value. But it kind of is. It basically is true. If I spend time for every piece of information that I might get summarized for me, and I had to go and research it myself, well, basically at that point, I am a journalist, and I've already got a full-time job.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point in journalism. So that's the problem.
Exactly.
The whole journalists is they're meant to do that shit for you so that you don't have to. But
You're failing.
they don't do their job anymore. They just write bullshit. And it's like, fuck it, I can look on Twitter and get the same bullshit and why do I need you? Like, most of the time it's tweets. They're using fucking tweets. Like, what did Trump tweet about this week? It's like, can't I just go on Twitter and find out?
No.
Why are you here? Like, what is this? You're not adding anything.
Well, as one would say, it's the low-hanging fruit. Basically, the job of the journalist really should be to be somebody who's well respected for trying to actually journal the world, as it were. You know, journalists coming from to keep a journal. Somebody who keeps a journal of the important events of the world. Really, as I say, it's about summarizing, right? There's no fucking way you could read every piece of information that's out there. There's just no fucking way you can do it, right? It's being created at an astonishing rate today, right? It's like one of those things you remember as a kid, and it's like, oh, it'd take you like
a
million years to read every book ever written.
It knows that I've been looking this shit up.
Yeah, but I've got the same shit, man, and I haven't.
Unbelievable.
You might have been looking it up, I haven't. I think it's just generally aimed at people who probably buy that who'd be reading a gaming website. So,
yeah.
Enough of looking at anime titties, right? Get on with the rest of the article. Right. The media claims that Lucky was a supporter of Trump. Lucky actually supported Gary Johnson. The media claimed he was a racist because his girlfriend was a Trump supporter, and they both claimed Lucky and his girlfriend was sexist because she was a Gamergate supporter. The media established a harassment campaign against Lucky and his girlfriend over her affiliations with Gamergate, a movement about establishing better ethics in media journalism, forcing her to shut down her social media accounts and forcing her off Twitter. Well, she had it coming for her own internalized misogyny, obviously.
Yeah.
According to Harris, all of this vitriol kicked up over Lucky and his girlfriend all came from the media purposely misconstruing his funding of Nimble America, a small political action committee who made a single billboard that said "too big to jail" with a picture of Hillary Clinton on it. This seems rather apt, in my opinion. That is essentially the way it works at the top. You can almost get away with murder and nobody would bat an eyelid. I mean, this is why things are still referred to as gates, because of what Richard Nixon did. When the president does it, it's not against the law, right? Or something, words to that effect.
See, this whole gate thing fucking annoys me a wee bit because it was Watergate was the first one.
Indeed. But I mean, in the American you see, this is the thing. It's even in American conscious today. There's no such equivalent really over in the UK. It doesn't make any sense contextually at all. I'm trying to think of there really hasn't been any scandal like that in the United Kingdom. But then again, we don't really have a president. We have prime ministers.
Yeah, but I don't think probably because they're good at covering it up.
Well, but the thing is, right? The thing is, right? Generally, what you have is you have sex scandals with the Tories, and you tend to find out the Labour Party are like taking backhanders left, right, and centre. That's generally the style of corruption in UK politics. It seems to be. The Lib Dems are just fucking useless alcoholics because they're all Scots. Who was the previous Lib Dem leader? Not before Nick Clegg. It was I forgot his fucking name now, but he was always drinking. I remember Paddy Ashdown. I can't even remember the guy. It was the guy after Paddy Ashdown. No, he's a Scot. He was a fucking Scot. Whoever it was after Paddy. It wasn't Vince Cable. I'm gonna have to think of all the Lib Dems I can think of to remember. Who gives a fuck anyway? I should continue the article.
I don't know. But Paddy Ashdown was definitely drinking.
Yeah, but anyway, nobody cares. Let's get on with this, shall we? In doing research into the matter for his book, Harris explains Nimble America was not responsible for creating and spreading any memes online. Nimble America's goal was to take meme-like images, like the billboard above, and put them into the real world. via billboards, t-shirts, and stickers. There is no evidence, nor, based on any research, do I see any reason to believe that this organization promoted any sort of racist, sexist, misogynistic, anti-Semitic, or white supremacist agenda. Neither is there any evidence of Nimble America supporting engaging in any sort of trolling, harassing, or astroturfing. Milo Yiannopoulos has no affiliation with Nimble America other than to endorse the cause, and in his capacity of a moderator of the _Donald subreddit, verify that was indeed a wealthy backer, Lucky, who had donated to the organisation a little less than $10,000. Well, quite had to deal with that. It's like in America, I'm pretty sure none of those things are illegal. This is the thing. Being essentially, if you said a racist, sexist, racist is a hate crime. If you said something, isn't being sexist and misogynistic essentially equivalent in the mind of the progressive mindset anyway, right? Basically, those are the same thing, are they not? I mean, that's just being redundant. And surely being anti-Semitic is also being racist, right? A Semite is actually an ethnic subgroup. And in fact, being a white supremacist would also make you a racist. So, in fact, out of all of those 5 different terms, only 2 of them are required to cover all of them. But it sounds better when you make a longer list.
Yeah, it's
food for thought.
And
also, trolling is not illegal. And I love astroturfing is always a good one. It's like you're pretending to mean what you say. Yeah, okay then, whatever. So continuing on, that didn't stop the media from dragging Lucky and his girlfriend through the mud. So much so that even the SPJ president, Lynn Walsh, commented that such baseless invectives were not ethical. However, the media managed to do exactly what they set out to do: strike fear into the hearts of anyone not willing to toe the aggressive line and support the candidate of their choosing, Hillary Clinton. And you do notice that it's never about arguments; it's always about smears. Smearing is always fun, right? It's easy to do, doesn't require any knowledge of anything other than how to use the right words at the right time in the right way. You fucking racist piece of shit. Jew hating cat.
It's good being a racist.
Hitler, you're literally Hitler.
To be honest, I like being Hitler.
He admits it. Burn the witch. That's pretty much. I mean, it's amazing, right? When you see this, it's just like, yeah, it's not really any more advanced than saying burn the witch. It's basically that's all it comes down to.
Yeah, it's
very very primitive tribal behaviour. People dress it up like it's something fucking sophisticated. It's really not. This shit is old as time, which is probably why it's effective, because people are kind of that's just how they fucking work, right?
Right.
It takes training not to fall into these traps. That's how you know this is part of the base psychology of people.
Or a brain. It takes a brain to untwist
your brain is a problem.
Normal instincts, right?
Well, the brain is a problem, Kat. You've got to remember the brain is made up of various different subsections.
Right.
You've got your frontal, precortical, visual cortex. You've got your hippocampus, your
the Neanderthal,
gray matter, your white matter. There's all. You got your brainstem. You got all your different bits and pieces and bobs.
Good. That's what I'm saying. The Neanderthal bit of the brain is the bit that falls for that shit. So you've got to be.
No, it isn't, Kat. No. You see, no, Kat, because the Neanderthals were another species of hominid that were almost certainly very closely related to us. Now, as all hominids have in common, they would have had a similar brain, the neocortex in particular, the part of the brain which is probably most associated with the advanced language skills that humans have, and probably most of the other hominid species had more advanced linguistic skills than any of our other ape cousins, the closest of which being the chimpanzee, which we diverged from some 3 million or so years ago.
Look, I know.
Just to set the record
straight. It really isn't that long ago.
It's just a thing that people...
In, like, the timeline. You know what I mean?
Dumb redneck.
The whole of the timeline.
You're a Neanderthal means, like, you're a dumb redneck. That's what people use. That's the way I used it, right? Not that it's an actual real thing. I'm just saying it's the more primitive part of the brain.
Problem is, it's kind of insulting to Neanderthals in a way.
They're all dead. No one cares.
You don't understand. You do not understand.
So it's like, let's have more feelings for the dinosaurs. How about no? How
many fucking children's films have there been about fucking cutesy baby dinosaurs? Right, there's at least 5 before Land Before Times.
No, there's way more. There's so many of them.
I said at least 5. Those are 5 that I know of. I've only ever seen the first film, and I thought that was a perfectly charming thing. The fact that there's probably now 100 of those fuckers is just appalling to me.
I haven't seen them all. I just know that there's just 20 of them or something. I think like they should have stopped at like 2 or 3 and just left it alone.
Well, like most sequels are cancer, and reboots and soft reboots, and this is actually based on the original, but it may be a sequel, it may not be a sequel. It's a pre-boot, it's a prequel of something. I'm not looking forward to Alien Covenant. I know it's going to be shit. It's a prequel to a prequel, apparently. That it's like whatever. I don't care. I don't care if you get the original director. The original director did that fucking shit 30 years ago. Clearly, he doesn't give a shit anymore, right?
Worse than that, right? It's the middle of a prequel of a prequel. So it's a trilogy of prequels, and this is the middle one of the trilogy. Work that one out.
Right, so we're working backwards in time. So Prometheus is actually the last. This one's going to be the middle, and then the next one's going to be the first.
No, this is a whole
George Lucas couldn't fuck up this much.
No, this is a whole new trilogy.
Well, this film starts a whole new trilogy, which is also before Prometheus. I mean, this is getting to fucking. Are we sure Christopher Nolan isn't directing this? Because this is Inception level fucking prequel sequeling.
Yeah, it's a sequel of a prequel that isn't out.
Yeah, imagine when they'll make this film. Maybe it does okay, and then they make the next one. The next one bombs, and then they go, right, we're going to need to put in a prequel before the first one, or maybe we'll put a sequel after Prometheus, and maybe that'll work out better. And maybe we could just keep on doing Alien a million fucking times.
This is a
because nobody's got fucking ball of that shit yet. You haven't fucking completely raped the franchise yet. The only reason Terminator is going to stop is because Arnold Schwarzenegger will eventually fucking die.
This is
a Terminator film without Arnold Schwarzenegger, and thank fuck. Sorry, Arnie, but eventually you'll die, and therefore there'll be no more Terminator movies.
They might still have Terminator even if he dies.
Yeah, it's easy.
Nobody will see it. Nobody will see it.
I don't understand it, but seemingly it's the middle of 3 films that are, I think, prequels to
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Covenant. I know it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. I don't know. It's like there's 3 films coming out. The one that's coming out soon is the middle of the 3, and then there's going to be the first one, and then the third one, and then it's Prometheus, or is Prometheus somewhere in the middle somewhere? I don't know. It's whatever it is. It's retarded. But
it certainly sounds like
one of a trilogy.
I'll tell you the likelihood. I mean, I saw Prometheus in the cinema. It's the only 3D film I've seen in the cinema. It was okay, but it's like after a while, it's like the 3D. It's like no, I can't be bothered with this shit anymore. It's just annoying. But it's okay for a bit. It just like for 2.5 hours of looking at this 3D shit. It's just like no, this is really fucking with my eyes. I don't want to do this anymore.
What did I watch? I watched. I think it was one of the Hobbits. I don't know which one, but it was in 3D in 40 odd or 70 odd frames per second, the high frames per second one.
Yeah, that's the 60 because I saw a whole thing. Peter Jackson was like, "This is the future." I think those are the only films that have been made with 60 like double frame rate going on.
Weird, but it looked really good. Like once your eyes got adjusted to it, it looked fucking awesome. And there was like trees and the wee things on trees and stuff in 3D. It looked fucking amazing as well.
Apparently, got a lot of people got sort of nauseous, and they found it very So
Yeah.
maybe you're one of the target audience, the only person with able to deal with this shit. I don't know.
No, it looked worse, but once your eyes adjusted to it, it was fine. And then sometimes your eyes would de-adjust, and then you would see everything moving so fast, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?" And then your eyes would just go back and readjust, and it was fine. But it looked smart. Like you got. To
it sounds like
more...
it's a lot of fucking effort.
No,
basically.
You just have to sit back and relax. Basically, like what you're supposed to do when you're watching a film.
I'm noticing it speed up and speed down all the time. That's
no, if you looked away from the screen. If you looked away from the screen, like to, I don't know, talk to your mate, and then you looked back, you would notice it was going faster, and then your eyes would just readjust back to it. So I think if you were used to filming that fast, you wouldn't have that effect.
I don't know. Maybe that sounds very odd to me.
It's odd. It is odd. It was weird. But like once you just settled back in and started watching the film, it was fine. Anyway, that's
so too, then. I mean, that was a nice distraction from the utter bullshit of this article. But let's go into the rest of it. Okay, so Lucky, blah blah blah. Contrast Lucky's anti-support of Clinton to other celebrity endorsements of Clinton, such as Joss Whedon's and the Avengers, coming out bad-mouthing Trump, blah 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 blah. Yeah, we all know about all that shit. None of the Avengers cast a joke for the month for opening bad-mouthing Trump, nor were their careers of fame put in jeopardy at the behest of the mainstream media. Instead, they received support for their actions. It's almost like there's a bias in American media or something. I mean, it's quite amazing. Just like
not just American media though.
Well, this is the thing, right? I used to defend the license fee, and it's like at least the BBC is putting out quality journalism, television, and nowadays I find myself very difficult to defend that position because basically it's not true anymore. It used to be true. It's not true anymore, and I kind of find myself going, yeah, there's stuff on BBC4 that I wouldn't mind keeping because those are basically like the well put together science documentaries which aren't fucking pushing an agenda down your throat. They're just explaining like, here's the physics we know about fucking subatomic particles, or here's the physics we know about the expanding universe, or here's some extremely complicated mathematics, or here's whatever, right? Something that is intellectually nourishing, right? Rather than trying to push an agenda down my throat, right? I can make up my own fucking mind, thank you. And the rest of it is just crap. I have no interest in. So I've, like I say, the journalism is the only other thing. And nowadays I'm like, fuck it. RT is just about as at least I know where fucking RT's biases are. I know they're pro-Russia, right? I can live with that. At least they get me interested in different stuff. It's quite fun to watch RT.
Sometimes because you know when they go into the propaganda thing about Russia, you know it, and it's so blatant. It's like, okay, but the rest of the stuff,
it's obvious.
This stuff is actually better than fucking other thing. Like our media, it's like, holy shit! Like, how can you be this bad that I have to go and watch that and think it's better than you?
Indeed. Indeed, you do wonder. I don't know how to make sense of it. But there you go. That's where we are in the world today.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Right.
Anyway, so basically the book.
Yes, we're below the YouTube video, by the way, Kat.
Yeah.
You want to scroll down a bit? In your own time.
Far.
Scroll, you motherfucker.
I'm scrolling.
There we go. Right. Yeah. So the media's response to the anti-Trump PACs were supportive and positive. So the Avengers were assembled to save the day, which apparently they failed to do, according to the election results. So apparently the assemblers are going to take on Thanos without any problems, but stop Donald Trump getting elected elected must make Donald Trump the most powerful being in the universe, apparently. I don't know. That's the only way you can interpret it, and it makes everyone look fucking retarded. I love it. Lucky paid in less than $10,000 to an anti-Clinton ad without adding any sort of personal message, and he was labelled as a racist, sexist, Trump-supporting misogynist. Harris was discussing the media's clear bias and fake news propaganda, writing Ars Technica, how your Oculus Rift is secretly funding Donald Trump's racist meme wars or boing boing. Do they not understand? A meme, people like you, but a meme is something that inherent to what a meme is cannot be centrally put out there. People have to pick it up and put it back out there, right? You have to see the thing, you have to modify the thing, you have to put the thing back out there, right? So in no way, right, can you pay for a meme war unless you're paying for a lot of creative people to do. I suppose it's possible, right? But generally, the reason why it works is the reason why memes occur is simply because people like what they're seeing, they respond to it, and it's a creative outlet in a way, right? There are particular reasons why certain things exist and other things don't, right? There's reasons why things spread and other things don't. Most of the time it's because they strike at some core aspect of human experience, which is common to all of us, and we find entertaining or sad or whatever. Most of the time, the memes that work are the ones that are humorous, not the ones that are deadly serious. This is the problem, right? Whenever you see the media talk about this, they're always trying to cast it in the light of this is deadly serious, which just makes them look more ridiculous. But you do wonder, who are they targeting?
And it just makes us create more memes about it.
Well, exactly. It's like the SVU Law and Order episode, right? Look how many fucking. It's exactly the same thing. But this is the thing: who are they targeting with that stuff? Because you have to think it's got to be people who do not understand this culture, right? And how many more? And how surely that is a rapidly diminishing group of people. Surely there are more people who understand the joke and understand how ridiculous it makes these people look, how out of touch and unable to grasp anything, and basically makes them look like either idiots, fools, narcissists, or essentially uncaring, manipulative cunts, which frankly most of them probably are. All of the above, possibly, but there you are, right? That's when you see anything that says like that is. Anytime the media mentions memes, it always seems to be completely fucking hilarious because they even how can they do? It's like, do you not have like somebody in your staff who's like maybe about 30? Go and talk to the IT department, right? They can give you better coverage than your 20-year-old journalist, right? Who thinks the internet was born with Facebook on it, right? Go and talk to your IT guy. He's about 35 years old. He's in the basement, but he'll know more about this fucking shit than any of your fucking journalists will, right? Guarantee that shit, right? He's take his fucking advice, right, on this shit. But it seems like where do they get their tech people from? I don't fucking know. Click's just about still going all right. I'll put that on the list of other things that's worth keeping the BBC for. But my God, it's touch and go, frankly, as far as like the value of any of this shit at the moment. But I haven't even finished the fucking quote box yet.
You went off.
Where did I go to? Oh yeah, social media assassinations of Lucky and his girlfriend, blah blah blah. An assassination that, by the way, I'd argue would have been warranted if what was described in those headlines had actually been true. That's just not the case, not even close. Which doesn't matter, obviously. Unfortunately, calling out the media's lies now is too little, too late. Of course, the damage is done. You can always say mea culpa after the fact, right? Mea culpa. I'm very sorry. We'll have an internal investigation. We'll make sure the guilty people have been disciplined. We'll make sure this never happens again. Oh, whoops, it happened again. Well, obviously, we're shoring up our internal procedures. We'll definitely make sure it doesn't happen again, right? That's if you're going to take the view of, yeah, we did something wrong and we have to apologize for it. If you're just like, you don't even care, then you just don't say anything. You just continue on as usual. But in this case, it's one of those cases because nobody's going to call them on their bullshit. Who matters? And I'm not saying no, literally nobody. I'm saying nobody who matters is going to call them on this. All right.
Yep. Just don't give a shit, basically.
Pretty much. I mean, with their bottom, the fact is, all their bottom lines are getting hit, right? I mean, for fuck's sake, I saw some newspaper headline when I was walking around the Waitrose. It's like, I'm not buying a newspaper. What the fuck is this? It's like, was it Prince Philip was like retiring because he's basically a cripple? Okay, fine. So all the tabloids were like singing the praises and shit. So, but I was just like, I saw that it's like the BBC News front page is all about local elections and shit. It's like, okay, well, this is going to be UK news. Yeah, and it was. But the thing I noticed is it seemed like there were clickbait type fucking headlines. It's like even the fucking going back into the point about how the fucking BBC ain't any fucking good for journalism. It's like these are very clickbaity looking headlines. It's not too far away from one simple trick that doctors don't want you to know about. This woman saved £10,000 from the Inland Revenue. Find out the secret they hate her for, or some shit like that, right? That's how I was just like genuinely shocked, right? Because I don't normally go to BBC News website. It was just like, okay, what the fuck is all this going on? Who died? Basically, is what I wanted to check. Because he's fucking old as shit, but he's basically crippled.
Do you know what the Inquisitor is or whatever? I think that's what it's called. That newspaper in America.
Can you give Valcomaros, whatever his name is?
Speak English.
Not working.
Yeah.
Hang on.
1 second.
You know who I'm talking about.
Inquisitor is someone who inquires, of course.
No, there's like an Inquisitor news thing. Let me see if I'm getting the name right. Okay.
You talk about Inquisition. Oh,
no,
we're talking about a person. I don't give a fuck.
No, it's called the Inquisitor. Here, I'll put it over in the side.
Very well. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's American news thing, okay? But they're always 100% known.
Right.
Yeah, they're always 100% known for fake news. They have the clickbaity stuff always. So it's kind of like all the news places are turning into the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Where is this? Redefining objectivity. I love that. That's the tagline. The Inquisitor, redefining objectivity. I had no idea. Maybe all of this shit is true. Yay, which I assume is something America. Yes, Europe, America. I don't know. To recruit 20,000 health workers. Government clears. This is Ghana. This is a Ghanese newspaper, isn't it?
Yeah, they do.
Because
the Inquisitor talks about just tons of just fake news stuff.
Are they trying to be fake?
Yeah, it looks
they do celebrity stuff a lot of the times, or
I've no idea.
Anything.
This looks like this headline just looks like it's basically some Ghanese newspaper. I don't know. This could all be fucking true as far as I fucking know.
Usually it's not.
It doesn't have much other than headlines, to be frank.
Yeah.
This is not a publication I can pick up at my local news agents, I'm afraid.
Maybe I spelled it wrong. Let's see.
I think you may be thinking of the National Enquirer. Is that what you're thinking of? Because look at this one.
It starts with an I and an N, and that's kind of what if you look at it, that's kind of what the headline usually looks like. It's just a lot of the times it's just a bunch of random stuff, and it's always fake news.
Yo.
Hello.
I just can't. I just think I'm thinking of the wrong name, or I'm pretty sure it starts with.
You must be. This is a Ghanese. I love the fact that we.
Well, that one is, but it basically that's what the newspaper looks like, and it's filled with American stuff. I just
see
can't.
that
I just
America's
can't.
become a lot more diverse.
It's called the National Enquirer.
Is that it? Is it the National Enquirer? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Yes, of course it is. Everybody knows the fucking National Enquirer. That's with an
I'm
E.
gonna start it with a friggin'.
Look, the National Enquirer comes up in fucking movies all the time. I remember
Yeah,
in Men in Black. In Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones goes
That's
and
right.
says that
Finds out about
go
it.
and get the national. Look, Will Smith, you don't read any of that fucking fake news bullshit. If you want the real news, you got to go to the National Enquirer.
You go to the tabloids.
Yeah. So that's what I think. Like news is basically all news stations are turning into this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever dream that you'd be in the timeline that Alex Jones just keeps being right about shit?
Okay, you can get rid of that and go back to the article. I knew there was like something, and it
A
kind of
crazy man is right at
always
least.
fake news.
A
Okay,
crazy man's even a crazy man will get the color of the sky right at least once a day, or something.
Yeah,
I don't
broken clock twice a day. I know. But I mean, he
know.
ends
No,
up
he's
being
not.
right
I'm not
about
saying
it.
he's broken. I'm saying you just keep on talking.
Yeah.
You keep on talking. Eventually, something you say is like, if you just took that one sentence, yeah, that's completely reasonable. You're just ignoring all the rest of the nonsense that's going on around it.
Give it a year for when like Hillary and Obama are in prison, and then their human makeup starts falling off, and they're like literally lizard people.
Yep. Right. So I think it's time to tie up the YouTube thing now. Probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there isn't really much more to the article anyway. It just, as you'd expect. I'll just finish that off quickly for you YouTubers. Then it's a nice, concise little nugget of gold before they persuade them onto the actual thing, the aerithradio.co.uk, where they should be going, obviously, in order to get all the other important journalistic
proper things.
news stories
Yeah.
for all time, but also just the most inane and ill-informed commentary and sidetracks you'll ever hear in your life. But to finish the last two paragraphs, whilst you sort that out, journalists who should have got out in front of the news and took to task the other unethical journalists driving the smear campaign through the driveway of Palmer Lucky's reputation. Instead, people like Blake Harris sat back and watched until it served his own interest to fact-check for his own book. This isn't the first or last time the media will run such smears, but don't expect journalists like Harris to speak up until it serves their own interest. Besides, it appears that the only people who care about ethics in media journalism have to fight tooth and nail to get the issue into the public sphere, only to be condemned as sexist misogynists and have their freedom of speech impeached by bomb threats. And I believe we all know what they're referring to there. It all ends tonight, as one will say.
Yeah.
And indeed, this stream on YouTube at least ends about now, does it not, Kat?
Yeah, it does. It ends.
That was a nice segue, I thought.
Yeah, and it keeps going on aerithradio.co.uk. It's just.
It does indeed. You see, it's not the end of everything. Don't worry, there is redemption for you.
It's just the end of YouTube because YouTube's shite.
It's where we can get really racist.
There we go. You finally got yourself in here.
Can you hear me?